Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's quick tutorial, we're going to explore track mats in Adobe After Effects. Track mats are a powerful tool for controlling visibility of one layer based on the transparency of another, allowing you to create interesting reveals, masks, and effects. A track mat uses one layer, called the mat, to determine which parts of another layer, called the fill layer, are visible. Think about the mat as a boundary designating the only places where the fill layer can be seen. To use a track mat, you'll need those two layers. Again, the fill layer is the one you want to show through, and the mat layer will control our visibility. For example, we have this image of the Chicago skyline and want the text Chicago to appear from behind the building. To apply the mat, all we need to do is go to the timeline panel. You can either use the drop-down menu next to your fill layer, the one you want visible, or use the spiral tool called a pick whip and drag it from the fill layer to your matte layer. In older versions of Adobe After Effects, the matte layer needed to be directly above the fill layer in the timeline panel, but this is no longer required. If you do not see this column, press Toggle Switches and Modes at the bottom of the timeline panel to reveal it. By default, this selection applies an alpha mat. That means the fill layer's visibility in the boundary we've created is controlled by the matte layer's opacity. It will only be visible where the matte layer is opaque. The other option is a luma mat, which looks for the brightness values of the mat. The fill layer will be visible in the bright areas of the mat and hidden in the darker areas. You can swap between these two by using the checkbox next to the track mat drop-down selection. Once you've applied the track mat, you'll notice that the fill layer is now only visible when it is inside the matte layer. You can also apply this to non-moving options using shape or text layers, for example, to create interesting designs. If you want the opposite effects, where the fill layer is hidden in the opaque areas of the mat and visible elsewhere, you choose the second checkbox option next to the track mat dropdown, which will invert the mat. And that's the basics of using track mats in Adobe After Effects. With track mats, you can easily create complex visual effects by controlling the visibility of layers in creative ways. Experiment with different types of mats and fills to see how you can enhance your animations. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy animating.